Pesachim Daf Kuf Gimel. Today's email comes from Morty Ness. He says, as always, this year is top notch in its delivery, visuals, and ability to keep the Daf enthusiasm going. I know you get many suggestions, yet he has a suggestion. He says, it's been said before, we're missing a third of shots when we do Siyam Shots, all the Mishnayos that are not part of the Daf Yomi. Perhaps everybody should take upon themselves to learn a Mishnah. He suggested that I should give this year. I don't think I have the time for it. Yet everybody can take upon themselves a Mishnah, 2 Mishnayos, in order to finish Zraim, Taharis, etc. by the time the Siyam Shas. Tremendous idea. This year, the first night of Pesach falls out on Motzei Shabbos. What is the order of Kiddush, Havdalah, Ner? Where does it all fit in? Yayin. The Gemara gives us no less than 8 different opinions. I think if we go slightly out of order, it might help to understand it. There's a central machlokes here. What comes first, Kiddush or Havdalah? That's the main machlokes. Rav holds that Kiddush comes first. Shmuel holds Havdalah comes first. We paskin like Rav that Kiddush comes first. Rav Shita himself is that we do Yakna. Yayin, Kiddush, Ner, Havdalah. Why is wine first? Because wine is Tadr. We drink it more often than everything else. It comes first. Then comes Kiddush because Kiddush is before Havdalah. And the typical Havdalah, Ner, comes before Havdalah, so it's Ner Havdalah. The next Shita is Kniya. Kiddush comes first. Now, wine is more appropriate for Havdalah because you cannot do Havdalah on bread like you could do Kiddush on bread. So the wine belongs to the Havdalah, therefore it's right next to Havdalah. And Ner, Yain, Havdalah. The next sheet is Nikiya. Ner, Kiddush, Yain, Havdalah. It's the same thing as we said, just the wine should be next to Havdalah and next to Kiddush. So it's right in between Kiddush and Havdalah. And finally we have in the sheet of Rav that Kiddush comes before Havdalah, Kina. Kiddush comes first. Yayin needs to be closer to Havdalah. Instead of it being before Kiddush, it needs to be closer to Havdalah. But this is the regular Seder of Havdalah. We have Yayin, Ner, Havdalah, a regular Motzei Shabbos. Now according to Shmuel, it's better to have Havdalah before Kiddush. You say goodbye, the Gemara says, a mashal, you say goodbye to the king before you say or greet the duke, who's a lower madrega, like Yantav is a lower madrega than a lower Kedusha than Shabbos. So therefore, Shmuel's sheet himself is Yanhak. Yayin Ner Havdalah Kiddush. Havdalah comes before Kiddush. Yain comes first because it's Tadir. And then comes Ner, like in a regular Havdalah, Ner, Havdalah, and then Kiddush. Next sheet is Yahanak. Yayin, Havdalah, Ner, Kiddush. Again, wine is Tadir, so it comes first. But you have to separate Havdalah and Kiddush. You can't have them together, they're very different. So we put the Ner in between the Havdalah and the Kiddush. And then we have Nihak, because we want to have the wine for both Havdalah and Kiddush. And Ner is not important, it's not connected to anything. You can make a bracha on a candle without making Havdalah. So it's all the way in the beginning. Finally, the final Shita is Nahik. The Ner comes first because it's not connected to anything. And then you have Havdalah, but I want to separate the Havdalah and the Kiddush with wine. So I put the Yayin in between the Havdalah and the Kiddush. Abaye and Rava are going with the Shita of Rav. Yakna, Yayin, Kiddush, Ner, Havdalah. But on the first day of Yantav, you have to say Shechiyanu. And the question is, where do you place the Shechiyanu? On typical Yantav, you put the Shechiyanu after Kiddush. And therefore, Abaye says that we put the Shechiyanu right after Kiddush. But Rava says, you see from a regular Yantav that the Shechiyanu is all the way at the end. So therefore we put the Shechiyanu all the way at the end, and that's Yak Nahas Shechi. All the way after Havdalah we put the Shechiyanu. Rava instituted to make the Boyer Minu Psamim before Ma'irei Eish, like we do today. And that goes according to the Shita of Rabbi Yehuda and the Machlekes of Beisham and Beis Hillel, that everybody agrees, Beisham and Beis Hillel both agree, that if you have a situation where you have to make Birkas HaMazon and Havdalah, Birkas HaMazon comes first and then Havdalah. Machlekes between Beisham and Beis Hillel, what comes first, the Psamim or the Ner? And we pass like Beis Hillel, that Psamim comes first. The Gemara tells us that Rabbi Yaakov bar Abba was a guest in Rava's house for the entire Shabbos, and he had many questions on Rava's Hanagas. And he asked him, why do you make Bayir Pri Hagafen in the beginning of the Suda and then another Bayir Pri Hagafen by Birkas Hamazon? Why is one Bayir Pri Hagafen not enough? And he said, I saw this at the Reish Galus' house. He said, but it's different. The Reish Galus, you weren't sure if he's going to give you another cup or not. But over here, you have the cup in front of you. You know you're going to make another bracha. Why make two brachas? Rav said, I hold like Rav, that once you have a mind to bench, you say Rabbi Yisai Nevarech, or you even think it according to the Mishnah Berurah, the meal is over. And therefore, if you want to drink another cup of wine afterwards, you have to make another bracha because of Hesach HaDas. Ameimar says if a person was Siach Das in the middle of the Suda, he has to make another bracha. Now, even though Rav said on Yontif that falls out on a Matzah Shabbos, we said Yakna, Yain Kiddush Ner Havdalah, and you don't have to make another Bayir Pri Hagafen again on the Havdalah. That's because he's saying one long thing. It's one thing. However, when a person says Rabbi Yisai Nevarech, he's cutting it up and therefore requires another bracha. And then he asks Rava, why is it that by Havdalah you need a torch, you need an avuka? I see that your Shamish did so. And Rava says, I didn't tell the Shamish. Go ask the Shamish. He says, no, obviously the Shamish is doing so because he heard from you. Says Rava, you're right. It's a mitzvah min hamuvchar to use a torch because a torch has 3 colors in it, red, white, and yellow. And it says, we say me'oirei in plural, different colors, different fire. Rava said 3 havdalim, like we say today. Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol, ben or l'choshech, ben yisrael la'amen. Ben yomi hashvi l'sheish yimei hamas is not considered a havdal. It's not in the Torah. It doesn't say the word havdalah by between shishi and shvi. But the reason why we say it, and Rava said it, is because you have to say something that's me'ena chasima. Since we say Baruch Atah Hashem Hamavdil b'kodesh l'chol, right before you have to mention that idea. And the idea is there's a difference between the 6th day of creation and the 7th day of creation. Have a wonderful day.